up here. I wanted to make this video about Effexor for anyone who might have questions about it when they first get prescribed it, or their psychiatrist puts them on it, or maybe they're switching from another SSRI or SNRI, or their therapist recommended it to them or whatever. But I've been on Effexor for, let's see, almost 9 weeks now. I think it's the 9th week. It's the first medication, not the first medication I've ever been prescribed or taken, but it's the first SNRI or SSRI or anything for depression and anxiety. I take it for anxiety. So it was my first experience with, sorry, what the fuck, this FedEx truck is sitting in the middle of the road. Anyway, it's the first medication that I ever took. And, I did a lot of research when I started. I wanted to know about people's experiences and things like that. So, and there wasn't too much information. I found a couple videos from just, regular people talking about their experience with it. But mostly it was just educational stuff for doctors and whatnot. So basically, I started, excuse me, I started on 75 milligrams, which I think is a little bit high. I think most people start on 35, I think, or 30, I'm not really sure. But I started on 75 milligrams, and I remember, and I also started taking guanfacine at the same time, although I don't think that has much of an interaction with Effexor, so this information should be good for you if you're just taking Effexor. But basically, the first couple of days I took it, it was really rough. The side effects were terrible. I remember the first day that I took it, and I used to take it in the morning, every morning, but now I take it at night. You should take it at night. Well, more about that later. Maybe you should take it in the morning. But I took it in the morning, and then I just felt like shit. I was in bed all day. I felt like I could just sleep all day. And I remember I woke up from a nap that day, and I got up. It was kind of late. I think it was 7 p.m. And I just felt so I remember I got out of bed and I walked into my kitchen, and I just kind of my ears started ringing really loud, and my vision was hazy, and I remember just standing there alone in the kitchen, staring at the cabinets, what is going on, dude? I'm messed up. And it was just really weird. I was just really uncomfortable, mainly, really exhausted, very fatigued, and the side effects lasted for a while. I'd say about 2 weeks. And also, on the weekends, I work in a restaurant, so I was really nervous about going to work during those first 2 weeks, because I was oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. I feel like shit, I'm exhausted, I'm anxious. My anxiety was pretty bad, honestly, in the first couple weeks. I mean, I was anxious because I was worried about the side effects, but I think pretty quickly it helped with social anxiety, maybe a little bit. Some people say that it works super fast for anxiety, and everyone's experiences will be different. But another thing, I had this feeling in my chest, this anxious pressure on my chest, that I hated that. It was hard to swallow. I remember that. That lasted for around a week and a half, 2 weeks as well. I think there were some other side effects too, mainly just being really tired. I just didn't want to do anything, and I think I didn't do anything. I work from home during the week, and I just it just put me out, dude. But So I was doing research this whole time, trying to see if other people had the same experiences and things like that, and looking up a lot of stuff on the internet. I also tried to call my psychiatrist like 3 times, although I can never get to talk to him. I was always talking to the nurses there, and because I was like, are these side effects like red flags? Am I, is this not for me? Like, it was bad, I was worried like that. And I asked a bunch of people if they had been on Effexor. Another side effect was sleeping. It was easy to go to sleep, which was kind of nice for me because I have a lot of trouble sleeping. But it's like as soon as I fell asleep, I just like would wake up the next morning. It was like completely restless sleep, no dreaming. It took me a long time to have dreams since I started Effexor. Some people say it gives you crazy dreams. I think that may have started happening for me. The night sweats have started happening to me now at about 9 weeks in. But hold on, I gotta go around this. I gotta go around this truck happening. But anyways, basically the point is, if you're starting Effexor right now and you're worried, it definitely does get better. Like, those side effects will drop away after a couple weeks. Like I said, I started on 75, and like my body did not handle it so well. I was like, dude, holy shit, man. Like, I don't know if I can do this, but they say it takes about 2 weeks for the side effects to go away, and like two weeks for you to start feeling the effects. And so far, honestly, it has been so good. Like, you just gotta push through the side effects. Like, my anxiety is like basically gone, and what's even more important, I still feel like myself. A lot of people say SSRIs make you feel like nothing. Like, that's how they combat depression, is just by making you feel nothing, And I know Effexor's not an SSRI exactly, but, it inhibits the reuptake of serotonin and norepinephrine. But I feel great. I owe a lot of thanks to Effexor. It has helped me so much. I started on 75, and then I think it was 2 weeks after that I increased to 125 or 150. Yeah, no, 150. Or I feel like maybe I started lower because I don't know. But I increased from 75 to 150. I was on 150 for a while, and when you do increase the doses, sometimes you get a little bit of those side effects back, but for me, it's only like for like 2 days. It's not nearly as bad as the initial side effects when you start it. And then this week, or at the end of this past week, I started taking 225, and that's apparently a very popular dose. Like, a lot of people stick with that one. I don't feel any desire so far to bump it up again. So 225 is like a popular dose. Also, interestingly, my psychiatrist told me at our last appointment that 225 is the dose where it starts affecting and regulating norepinephrine, and any dose before that is just serotonin. I think he might have said that it's different for everybody, because he did say that while we were having that conversation, but I think he might have been talking about something else. But sometimes it's hard to understand my psychiatrist. He has a really thick accent, and that's kind of, you want to make sure you can understand your psychiatrist, so I don't know if that's the best. But anyway, that's just interesting because norepinephrine is basically, the way my psychiatrist explained it to me is that I have anxiety because I have a surplus of norepinephrine in my brain, and so Effexor should regulate that for me. But apparently, up until this point, it's just been serotonin, which I guess having more serotonin could help with anxiety, of course. Or maybe the norepinephrine kicked in earlier for me. I don't know. But point is, if you're on Effexor, don't be scared. just stay off Dr. Google for a while. I mean, there's a lot of people on like Reddit and on the internet, on all these forums, that just say that shit like wrecked me, like that ruined my life. Like just give it a shot, you know. Don't be scared, because it's really helped me. I feel great. Side effects are gone. I guess the last thing that I want to talk about, and what a lot of you guys are probably wondering about, is the sexual side effects, which are very real, unfortunately. And I've heard some various like tips for these. I think with me, it might be worse than it would be for other people just taking Effexor, since I'm taking guanfacine at the same time, which I recently learned, you know, can cause impotence and things like that, because it works on your blood pressure. Guanfacine is a non-stimulant medication for ADD, by the way. But I think I'm going to try to get off of it and go back to Adderall, because guanfacine is expensive and it just is not really working for me, and we've upped the dose a couple times. Okay, sorry, my phone stopped recording. Anyways, sexual side effects. I gotta stop going on these tangents. Like, yeah, at the beginning of taking Effexor, and not even just at the beginning, for a while, my libido was like non-existent, dude. Like, I had no interest in, you know, doing anything with my girlfriend, and so I had to transition to my house. But yeah, the sexual side effects are, I mean, I think they're pretty bad for a lot of SSRIs, but so, you know, it was pretty rough with Effexor. I mean, it's supposed to go away, you know. I don't really know if, I mean, my libido is definitely coming back, but not all the way. I mean, my psychiatrist said, like, oh, you know, sometimes that it doesn't go away for certain patients, and so you can switch medications. But I like, that's like really the only issue with Effexor is that for me. Someone else on YouTube talked about Effexor, and they recommended for sexual side effects, they recommended this Panax Red Ginseng. This is not the exact brand that they recommended. I'll link to this in the description, and I'll also link to the one they recommended that said worked really well. But basically, their psychiatrist said they should try red ginseng for the libido loss, and they said that it worked really, really well. I got this one rather than the one they said to get, because this one is pure extract, and I wasn't sure if the other one was. And I mean, you know, my research said that, like, you got to take pure extract if you're going to take ginseng, because if it's not pure extract, then you have to take like way more. But this stuff might be too strong, though. I've really only taken it once. I got it. I wanted to take it every day as a supplement to see if the libido got better, but and I think I will. But the first day I took it, I took 2. That's the dose on here, is 2, and I was like, it's like I had so much energy that I like just wanted to pass out. Like, I felt like I had like a headache all day, and I was just like, whoa, like it was intense. So then I think I took 1 the next day, which was a little bit better. Like, maybe you need to do it like that and get used to it slowly. But this is supposed to help with energy, stamina, focus. People say it helps with focus a lot in performance, and it's supposed to help with libido and ED as well, not eating disorder. I mean erectile dysfunction. Yeah, Panax Red Ginseng, or Korean Red Ginseng. I don't know if this is from Korea. I think it's supposed to be from Korea. I don't know, but I'll link to that other guy's video, and I'll link to this in the description and his brand. So I like Effexor. I think it works very well. I wish I had gotten on Effexor way earlier in my life. Probably would have had even more fun in college if I was on Effexor then, or similar anti-anxiety medication. But yeah, it works really well for anxiety. I guess mainly for me, it was social anxiety. I want to say, I'm not really sure. I never really pinned down my anxiety, but it's helped me. Like, I just feel like myself. I don't get nervous nearly as much. I don't worry nearly as much. I was always overthinking and worrying. That was the biggest thing. And I just don't really have those thoughts anymore. I just kind of get things done. I do what needs to be done. I don't think too much about things that I shouldn't be thinking about. Um, it can make it easier to sleep too for some people. I just have sleep problems in general, so I not it did help me at the beginning. Like I said, it helped me get to sleep because I could sleep all day, but I was taking it in the morning. Some people like taking it in the morning because some people say it makes them feel kind of like wired, but not for me. I'd much rather take mine at night. I don't know, it's easier for me to remember to take it at night before bed, and I usually have like more food in my stomach at night. You should take it with food, like at least a little bit of food. That during the first couple weeks when I was taking it, I like made sure I always ate before I took it, like because I was terrified that it would come on really strong and like make me dizzy and stuff. I was really dizzy. That was another side effect at the beginning. But yeah, final thoughts. If you're starting Effexor and you've watched this far, thanks for watching this much. Don't be worried. You should be excited. You should be optimistic. Works really well for me. Like I said, I wish that I started it way sooner in my life. Yeah, the anxiety is gone. And, I'm never really diagnosed with depression or anything. I mean, I've wondered about it sometimes, but it seemed to have helped with that too. Like, I don't mope around as much. I don't worry as much. I'm not like nervous or scared for things. Yeah, Effexor's pretty awesome. Take it at nighttime and don't miss a dose. People say that withdrawals are really bad. That's the one thing that you hear about this medication a lot, is that coming off of it is like hell. And maybe that's true. I have obviously not started that process yet, although I'm sure someday I will. My psychiatrist has already told me that he doesn't think that I'm like, I'm not going to be a lifelong user of these medications. He thinks that after a while, the Effexor will help my brain adjust and then I'll go off of it. But some people go off Effexor like for that purpose, or some people go off to like start another medication, and apparently the withdrawals are awful. You get a lot of brain zaps. That's another big word. Everybody's wondering about these brain zaps. I haven't had any brain zaps. But well, I think I've actually had them in life before, but not because of Effexor, and they're just kind of like jarring, but they don't really hurt or anything. They're more like annoying and like kind of startling, but it's not bad for you, and it doesn't do any damage to your body or your brain, and they don't hurt per se. They can just be really uncomfortable. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, thanks for watching. Good luck with Effexor. It's worth it. It'll help you. It'll help you out. And if it's not, tell your psychiatrist and switch to something else. But I would give it like 4 weeks. Final take. I'd give it like 4 weeks before you change. Okay, bye.